Okay, so moving right along, we have working with tables. So once again, I'm going to go into my file and I'm going to save a copy, and I'm going to save it to OneDrive, and I'm going to change the first part of it. I'm going to just wipe Excel out and I'm going to change it to my name. That way it's easy for me to see. Oh, because I did this yesterday. See, I just keep redoing these things. Okay, I'm going to go, if that happens, I'm just going to go change it to one that's similar. There we go. Now I'm going to go back into File, and I'm going to go to Open this time, not Save As, and I'm going to click Open the Working with Tables one, the one that I just had open. Once again, I'm going to shift that guy over, and I'm going to shift that guy over there. This one here is the one I'm going to be working on. This is the one I'm going to be following the instructions on. Okay, so today we can see that we've got quite a few. We've got directions 1, start here, finish 2, directions 2, start here. And so we've got 2 little things that we're going to be working on. So in here, in my start here button, I do have I'm going to just go out a little bit so you can see it. I do have some information in here. So turn the text data in cells A1 through to F8 into a table and name the table. So the easiest way to select the data, well, let's just try it their way. Okay, so we're going to go here into my Insert tab, and I'm going to go to Tables, and I'm going to say Insert Table, and my table is A1 to F8, and it has, my table has headers, is definitely checked because I definitely do have headers, so I'm going to say OK. And one section overlaps external. Do you want to remove all external? Yes, please. Okay, there we go. So it did it. It defaulted to a design that it liked. It defaulted to where it wanted to go. That's pretty easy to do. Okay. Name the table. So Table Tools Group. So once again, if I'm off here, I have my regular ribbon. If I have this highlighted, my Table Design tab comes back live. So I want to go into Table Tools menu. And then we want to go Properties Group is over here. And we see where it says Table Name right here. So I'm just going to highlight that. And I'm going to call it My Table Has Headers. Okay. Oh no, that's I'm reading too far up. Math Grades Table is what they want to call it. Okay, there we go. So the next set of instructions down is to select the table. Table Design menu is back open again. We want to go to Choose Design Table Style Medium 9. So quick styles, so medium group, you can see light, medium, and we want number 9, so I'm going to guess it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's maybe right here. Blue Table Style Medium 9. So we're going to select that one. Find the checkbox in the first column within the Activating Table Style option group. This makes the first column with the last name a different shade of blue for easy viewing. Okay, so let's go with a table style options, and if we click off banded rows, it changes that so we can't see, and we're going to click on first column, and that makes that easy. So once again, if you're out of here, you can't find it, remember to click into the table. Then you're in the table design. We want to go to table styles options and just select our first row, and that will band that. So if we want to highlight their name, that's how you do that one. Kind of makes it a little bit easier to view. Okay. Now we want to go and do a multi-level sort. So when we're in a table, we have these little drop down that allows you to sort all you want, but it only lets you sort like one level. So I can sort that way if I want. You know, whatever you kind of, however you want to do it. But what I want to do here is a multi-level sort. So we want to sort the table by grade level, lowest to highest, and then alphabetically by last name. Okay, so we're going to go into, we're in our table. We want to go to our Table Tools menu, which is here. And we want to go to our sort. I feel like if I expand this, we'll see it more easily. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that's right. You know where it's definitely going to be is definitely in data. So in data, so go to data, and in data, you're going to have this sort button right here in the middle. And so we want to sort it by grade level. So we're going to select sort by grade level, and we want to do that first. And we want to go lowest to highest or smallest to largest. And then we're going to go here and add a level. And then we're going to sort by name, last name, and we're going to go from A to Z. And then we're going to say OK. So what that did is it made all the grade 7s come first and then the grade 8s after them. And then within the grade 7s and 8s, then we did alphabetically. So J, K, M, T, W for the grade 8s. That makes sense, right? Now we want to filter. So if we... That's weird. It just defaulted to that. If we go into our grade level and click here, we can just go down to that and click off, deselect grade 7 and say OK. Then it gives us a table with no grade 7s done. So again, they're not hidden, they're just filtered out. Anytime we want to, we can go back in here and we can reselect them, say OK, and there they are back again. So we're just doing this. There we go. Okay. So we also want to filter, choose the down arrow next to Math 1. And we want to go to the data tab. So number filters here. Oh, my eyes hopped down, sorry. We want to go in here and we want to choose, because we're going to go less than 70. So we want a less than, and we want to select in here 70. So less than 70, we say OK, and it filtered off everybody who didn't get a 70, or who got above 70. And that leaves us with the students that we might need to spend some extra time and review some skills in Math Test 1. Okay, now we're going to go up here and just clear the filters. So that just erases all the filters that we've previously set. That was just that little, there's no filters on, so it's not, but when it is, it's like highlighted in red. Here, wait, I'll show it to you again. I'll just deselect these guys, say OK, and then that guy's in red. If I click on him, it just sorts out all the filters. So if you want to see that again, just give it a little rewind and rewatch. Okay, now we're going to go add a new column to G. So we're going to click into cell G1, and we're going to type progress, and I like this feature. Press enter, and it matches it automatically. As soon as I press enter, it created a new column and just expanded our table. So we want to insert spark lines. This is our final thing on this table. So we want to go into cell G2, and then we are going to go to our insert tab, and we are going to insert a spark line. So spark lines is right here, and we have a few different options for spark lines, but in this case we're going to choose a line, and it wants to know our data range. So you can type in the data range, but just hold down on your left mouse key and slide it across and press enter. Now, make sure your spark line doesn't include the grade level, because their grade level doesn't show their results. As a teacher, I'm like, okay, they were doing really, really well, and then they went down. So something happened on test 3 for Mary, which is concerning. So I'll walk through this again, and then I'm going to show you something else kind of interesting. So you go to insert, go to spark line, data range from here to here, and we say OK, and that's okay. You could do that all the way down. Or, kind of a neat feature of Excel, you see how my cursor right now is a white plus button. If I go close to the bottom right hand corner, it turns into a black plus button, and it's solid. If I hold down on my left mouse key when it's that solid black, and then just drag it down and then release, look what happens. It actually auto-filled a formula into each of these. So let's have a look and see if the spark line matches. So 26, 48, 95, so low, mid, and then much higher. Yeah, 75, 95, 78. So down, up, down. So all the spark lines worked. So that's kind of a neat feature of Excel, is when you click into the cell and you have a lower button, you can just drag all of your stuff right down. Okay. So that is number 1 done and doner. Let's make sure that our finished, looks the same. It does. Our spark lines match. It looks lovely. Perfect. Oh, yes. I was just not over there. The last name's there. Okay, perfect. So let's go into direction number 2. And I'm going to make sure that I'm up at the top and off to the side. And on my worksheet, I'm going to get this one and go into Start Here. Okay, so this is the information here. So on the Start Here worksheet, create a table from cell range C3 to F9. Those are already highlighted, so I don't need to do it. Include row 3 as headers. Use a table style dark orange 9. Okay, so we selected it. We're at our Home tab. And we want to go format as a table. So you can either do an insert as a table, or you can find this on the home page. And this one we want to go, oops, daisy, sorry, format as a table, dark style, and if I hover over dark orange table style, dark 9, excuse me, that is the one that they want. And we make sure that our table has headers, and we say okay, and boom, there it goes. It's good. Now we want to format the table so that every other row is shaded. It's already done, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So again, I'm in here. Go to my table styles option, and that's called a banded row. So I think originally, probably when they wrote this, it didn't have this table style, didn't have banded rows, but it's now, it includes banded rows. So that's all a banded row is, just so it makes it a little bit easier for your eye to follow across, so you don't kind of read on an angle like sometimes happens. Okay, so that's good. Then we want to go to sort the table in age ascending order, then sort the table by name alphabetically. Okay, so you can go in and do drop down, but we know we want to do a multi-level sort. So we're going to go into our design tab. No, we're not. We're going to go into our data tab. Just go into our data tab and then our sort button. And we're going to sort by name and alphabetical. Then we're going to add another level, and we're going to sort by, oh no, I apologize, sorry, age first. Ascending, that means going up, so smallest to largest. And then we're going to sort by name and alphabetical A to Z. And we're going to say okay, and did that work? So we're 26, 36, 42, 45, 45, 45. So yes, age is good. And then within age, you've got 3 of them that are the same age. So D, G, and M are sorted. Okay, perfect. So that worked. Now we want to go in and add a little bit of alternative text. Alternative text is used for accessibility for visually impaired people to let them know what data tables are. So we're going to right click anywhere in the table, and we're going to choose table. I'm going to go open this up. So I'm right clicking. I'm going to go back into table design, and we're going to choose table. Okay, I'm going to learn to read better. Sorry. So I'm going to right click anywhere on the table. There. And then I'm going to right click anywhere on the table. Not just click in, but right click. Excuse me. I'm going to go down to table right here. And it's got total rows, convert to range, or alternative text. Let's go with alternative text. And we're going to type in the title field Disney Friends Data. And there's no description. We just say okay. And that is it, my friends. Save that and upload it to D2L.